What on earth is this man's facial hair? Nah, seriously, why does he have literally no hair at all on his chin? It's only on his neck and above his lip. There's so much free space there, I could land a plane on it. And the other Americans have given him the only rifle of the three. He's been discriminated against because of his facial hair. They're hairist. Bro, we've only got one SMG, one LMG, and one rifle between the three of us. And I want the submachine gun. Well, I'm taking the LMG. We can't let air traffic control over here take any of the cool stuff. Bro, look who's talking. You probably already know by now that Enlisted's Pacific Campaign has been announced, and if you still don't know, even after all of the leaks, teases, and just all of the discussion, then you must be blind. And if you are blind, point is, the Pacific has been confirmed, and we all know it was coming, let's be honest. It's no surprise, but what is a surprise is how it's being carried out. And I am actually quite impressed. Darkflow has genuinely listened to my past videos giving feedback on the Stalingrad campaign and on what they should not include in the Pacific campaign. They paid attention to my videos and all of your comments below them, so thank you for all of your support and suggestions, because together we really have made positive change to Enlisted to support its long-term health, and that is amazing to think that our community can do just that. And if you'd like to get more involved with our community, then join our Discord server with over 600 awesome people to play with regularly on voice chat, including myself. I love playing with all of you guys. As always, my Patreon, my game store, YouTube channel membership and YouTube thanks, Twitter, Twitch and more are all below if you'd like to further support me and the channel. But without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we see on the news release is the art, and wow, it's awesome. That alone actually gets me excited for the new campaign. But then in the first few sentences, a new army, unique weapons, equipment, game mechanics, all to make this campaign a truly memorable experience. This is exactly what we needed. Uniqueness. As I said in my Pacific campaign predictions video, and you should definitely go and watch that one after watching this one, there has to be something that makes players want to actually play it, and uniqueness does exactly that. Now for those of you out there that are thinking, hold on, didn't you say in that video that the Pacific should not be released yet? Well, you'd be correct. Yet I still stand by everything that I said in that video. The need to improve the game and all its core progression issues is still what should be taking utmost priority by the devs, in my opinion, and for many of you in the comments who also agreed with me. But we can see in the first section of the news release that they have genuinely tried to do just this. I admit, it's difficult for them to just change all of the existing campaigns, given the progress hundreds of thousands of players have already achieved in all of those campaigns individually. But at least they are trying something new here, and it shows they have learnt the lessons from the Stalingrad campaign, as I said in that video. So I am pleased. I mean, look at it. No locked levels. Now, progression may be the same as in the other campaigns, so in essence, they just haven't fixed the grind of the game, which is a big downside. For some, it's going to seem just like another campaign to spend equally as long grinding up. The fun and uniqueness appeal of the Pacific will only last for so long, then will trail off, and people will then just see the campaign as another slogfest after that. Now they are also selling a pack called the Special Landing Forces Pack. Once again, Darkflow have learnt from Stalingrad, which is amazing to see. No longer do you get 8 times the bloody XP you'd get as if you were a free-to-play player, but instead you get 4 nutty, awesome looking and historically accurate squads with an awesome backstory, which don't seem like they will be pay to win because they just get a variant of the Thompson and a normal Japanese SMG. So these will be unique weapons, which is great, but not overpowered and have an engineer, which is what premium squads should be. I've been saying this for literally years now in my past premium squad review videos. Though my concern is that, as I stated as one of those issues in the previous Pacific video I made, Japan doesn't have many SMGs. If the Type 1 is restricted, as it says here, to only those who pay for the pack, then will the Japanese just receive a load of German copies from other campaigns in their campaign unlock tree? Now I don't know for sure, but it is slightly concerning.
Go and see exactly what's out there, and then come back to me and realise, yes.
As part of this pack, you also get some awesome amphibious tanks and decorations for them. Now these tanks look kind of insane, but don't look overpowered to me, as I don't think they have intense armour, though the Kachi tank will be insanely difficult to kill. But I'm also yet to understand how useful these water-walking metal houses are actually going to be. How much will you actually need to go in the water in the maps? How difficult will it be for existing land tanks to go in this water as well? I guess we don't know for now, but in order to find out, you had better subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell, as I will be releasing many videos on all the new features for you all as and when they are announced. The decorations though are just a very nice addition for the tanks, but this one keeps making me think of a certain film, alongside the unique nickname decorator, which really they should make more use of. They look amazing in game, and I've already seen players running around in game with this palm tree nickname. It looks really nice. It's awesome to see the devs finally start going down the customization route for monetization, and hopefully they are more adventurous in this way in the coming updates. But then something even more confusing for me is why they decided to make equipment and troops already start out at rank 4, like in the Stalingrad campaign. And if you don't know the difference between rank and level of troops, then you should watch this video on screen now, which you can find by clicking in the top right hand corner of the video now. I feel it's just a bit unnecessary.
But it's not relevant, is it?
When I played Stalingrad, this was literally the least useful thing about the full access package. They just aren't that useful, to be honest. Now this sounds like I'm being a negative Nancy, but honestly, I just don't really see the point.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
If you're going to grind up all the Pacific levels anyway, you will have enough bronze orders to level things up anyway. I'm not sure I see the need in extra help. For new players though, this will be a good thing, as they won't really have the bronze and silver troop and weapon orders that would actually be spent on the things if they didn't get this. But for experienced players that have leveled up every single campaign and are most likely the diehard fans that will buy this package, they wouldn't even notice this. Just my opinion, I guess, but I'm not complaining. How useful would this be for you guys though? Let me know in the comments down below. The next few sections of this specific announcement just talk more about the perks of the bundle, which honestly is actually just quite good value. 30 euros for all of that is decent and not too expensive, which is a common issue, shall we say, with Gaijin pricing. Sure, it's not cheap, especially if you're already buying the Battle Pass, premium account, and this bundle on top of all of that, in combination with any future premium squads they aim to release for it, so you know what, it actually really does add up. The more I think about it, yeah, I'm wrong.
What did I buy you for? To make me sad.
So yeah, it's not cheap, but I have been reliably informed that Gaijin, the game's publisher, takes a really large cut of any sale from their website, which actually explains why Darkflow are forced to put their prices what many people deem as quite high. But then again, you don't need to buy this package at all. You level up as quick as everybody else, no matter what they've paid for free. This is awesome to see, and once again, Darkflow have learned. Players now will not be put off playing the campaign seeing other players level up around 10 times quicker than they do, and it keeps players actually wanting to play the campaign for much longer after its release, rather than give up after a week because they've just already unlocked everything. But then again, you do have to trade this off at the fact that many people think the campaign progression is still too long, and nothing about that has really been addressed. The potential worrying thing about this is that it says there are a large number of water obstacles in the maps. Now I have no idea whether this will mean you have to swim everywhere, and you know, swimming takes a long time in the game. It makes you unable to fight back if you're an infantry squad. Even your AI soldiers don't swim very well, and have recently been changed to make them not swim where possible, so they will take narrow bridges as routes, which might just get them all killed. I really hope Darkflow has thought about this ahead of time and not made amphibious tanks the only real way to progress within a map. That could be a genuine worry for this campaign. But Jesus Christ, I don't know if anyone's noticed that the Japanese amphibious tank, the Kachi, however that's pronounced, I don't know. Do I look like a Japanese fella, man? Seriously? It's going to have an insane 7 crew members. What the? That means they will also become your best possible assault squad. You can have 7 assaulters in one squad if you get out of this tank. Oh god, this is actually unfair.
When is it gonna end, Robbie? I've had enough of it!
But for all of you console players out there, and I know there's a lot of you watching my videos, you may not be able to get this package now, but you will within 14 days of the update's release, so look out for that. And for those asking, and there's been many of you asking, the update should be released at the end of the current Battle Pass season, so keep checking that number in game. So as for the normal campaign levels, it's kind of what you'd expect, but in a good way. But also there's some really unexpected things, such as them saying that even the US Army will also get a big set of new weapons. The uniqueness continues. This is exactly what we've been crying out for. The wording used really inspires me to play this campaign. I just hope there are more of them than those just listed on this announcement. I know it says this post only put some samples of this, which I'm fairly sure they meant to say the word examples, because samples is just not the word you'd use here. A sample? Can I try it now then?
You know. How'd you fluke that one?
I won't just talk through them all using the descriptions that the devs have already given you, because I'm sure you can all read. But if you can't, I'm sure other enlisted content creators can read this for you. But regardless, I love how all of these weapons look, especially seeing an Australian SMG. Now, I don't know if this implies we will see Australian forces in the campaign, as it doesn't say that anywhere, and even uses the words US Army, and the US flag is up on this announcement, and only the US flag. But the faces and strange facial hair are different models from existing US soldiers in the game, so maybe they are introducing the rest of the Commonwealth and allied forces here, just like the Philippines in the region. Time will tell, I guess, as they haven't revealed it yet, but that would be awesome, and I really hope it's something that the devs are considering. The M1941 Johnson MG reminds me so much of the FG42 though. Maybe this is the Allies' answer to that OP Axis weapon. I mean, it sounds OP in its description too, so maybe I'm right. Given these samples we were shown, they have managed to balance Japan and the US quite well in terms of campaign levels and weaponry, which is really surprising. So good job, Darkflow. Though whether I will live to regret what I've just said will be found out in future news releases though. I love the new armoured vehicles and AA guns mentioned here too, adding to the uniqueness of this campaign, though I can see these becoming quite cancerous if it's anything like existing enlisted AA guns. Oh god, please no.
No, God!
Then there's all of these other features, most notably what everyone wanted from a Japanese faction, a Banzai charge. They talk of a berserker mechanic, and not gonna lie, that sounds awesome. At least they've tried to make this a viable thing to do in game with this new mechanic, but the situations where it works will be only few and far between. They've even added the Japanese anti-tank mines, which might be another cool thing, but incredibly unbalanced, considering the Americans are going to get explosive packs, so they can just explode tanks and live to tell the tale, whereas Japanese soldiers likely won't. They do say you can use it from a distance, and you have a chance to survive. Well, I guess a 1% chance is better than 0%. Honestly, Banzai charging and these anti-tank mines are going to mean Japanese tickets need to be so high if they really are this underpowered in order to balance these maps. Because these new features really do imply that they want the Japanese to suicide a lot more than the Americans will. Therefore, these map balancing ticket adjustments are probably crucial. I just really hope that the devs have balanced this correctly and they've actually thought through these new features.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Phosphorus Grenades seem like another interesting, unique change, but it just serves to add to the constantly growing explosive spam problem in the game, which I already believe will be intense in the Pacific with probably a number of bomber aircraft and amphibious tanks. The fumes being deadly though does sound quite OP. Maybe we'll finally have a worthy adversary to the mighty explosive pack.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
And regarding the maps, they only give a little teaser that might imply they will do a Battle of Guadalcanal, almost purely in the sky. Now that will be interesting, but may take away from the primarily infantry base of the game. Though if this is only one map out of the many that are land-based, such as the tiny Gavutu Island, then playing a dogfight map once in a while will be acceptable. And the images also seem to imply that there will be a lot more than just one location and one map, as was the issue with Stalingrad when it released, which is actually a really important point that I mentioned in my previous video, so I'm glad they've addressed this. There's still so much we don't know, so be sure to click that like button if you'd like to see me cover all of the future releases for the game. But nevertheless, it's been an absolute pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.